Hi everyone, Azriel here, and today I'm going to be doing my first impressions on the Canon EOS 30V. So recently I did a first impressions on the Canon EOS Rebel 2000, and this was going to be my main camera until one of you donated the EOS 30V, and as you can tell, there is quite a quality difference. Not only that, but this one came out in 2004 and was discontinued in 2007. So some of this technology, like the metering system, was used in DSLRs of the time. So as with most of my first impressions, I don't look at the manual or its history too much. With this one, I looked at it a little bit more, but I want to see how intuitive the camera is. And as you've probably guessed by now, if it passes today's first impression, it will most definitely replace the Rebel 2000. Now, normally I'm a one camera, one lens kind of guy, but today I'm going to bring two lenses. The first is a 24-105 f4 L series lens with a circular polarizer on the front. And the second is my rarely used 70-200 f4. No stabilization. And I'll be shooting on Ilford FP4 Plus at box speed. Nice and fast. It read as 125, so the DX coding's working too. For today's test, I'll be heading out to Elbow Falls, Alberta. Okay, I've arrived at Elbow Falls. It's just after sunrise, and there's some construction going on, so I hope there's not too many limitations where I can go. Somebody drowned here last month for going over the barrier, so I'm definitely not going to be taking any risks today. It's a little colder than I thought. It's supposed to be 31 Celsius, but it's not 31 Celsius right now, and I didn't bring a jacket, so it was a really nice drive down. I'm definitely looking forward to this. There's a lot of haze from BC fires still, but I don't really believe in bad weather. In fact, I think unique weather is the best kind of weather. At the moment, I'm bracketing all my shots just to be on the safe side. The light is really weird. It's sunrise, so because I've never used the camera before either, I do want some extra insurance. I brought two rolls with me just in case I get snap happy. One thing I'll say about this camera for sure is that you can't even hear it advance. It is so quiet. I don't know if you can hear that beeping, but the construction's sort of taking me out of the mood. It's been a long time since I've been here, definitely before the flood. The flood really changed the landscape. They've been trying to clean it up for years, and a lot of the areas are off limits. All the picnic tables were washed away. It's definitely not the same place. Okay, I'm back in the car. I'm heading back into town. I did see a couple of things on the way that I'd like to shoot. However, it's always a matter of, is it safe for me to pull over? If there's somebody behind me, if there's no shoulder to pull up on, I'm not gonna bother. But if it's safe and the opportunity strikes me, I'll definitely pull over, pop that second roll of film in, and snap a few. So as you can see, there's some cattle grazing. I encountered them on the way here too. I'm gonna be real careful. I got my 70 to 200 in a fresh roll in, and I'm gonna try and get some nice shot of the cows. Okay, I'm back home now. I'm in the darkroom and I'm ready to develop my film. I've already taken liberty of putting both film strips in the tank. All I did for the second roll, since I only took 5 shots, was turn out the lights and cut the strip right out of the back of the camera. I gotta point out too that that's one thing I would not be able to do with the Canon Rebel 2000. Since it pulls out the entire roll, I wouldn't be able to shoot partial rolls anymore. I have my pre-wash all ready to go, and it's exactly 68 Fahrenheit, so that's perfect. Okay, so the negatives are developed. They looked fantastic. I scanned them in already. I'm really impressed with the photos, but before I show you the results, I'd like to talk to you a bit about the camera. So the first thing is, if you shoot a DSLR, a lot of this is going to be familiar to you. You have your one shot, your AI focus, and your AI servo. You've got single shot, multiple shots, as well as a self timer. If you've owned an Elan before, it's got eye-controlled focus, and you've got other stuff like exposure compensation, exposure bracketing, and red eye reduction if you want to use the pop-up flash. You've also got your spot, center-weighted, and evaluative metering. You have the ability to record your date. I didn't turn that on though. I might try it at some point. It feels really similar to DSLRs that I've handled in the past, like the Canon 5D Mark II, which I'm shooting on right now, the Canon T2i, even the XSI. It's slick, it feels really good in the hands. There's lots of tactile buttons. Everything feels really snappy and precise and well built. Now when I hold the EOS Rebel 2000, it feels like really light, really plasticky, kind of janky, and you can definitely tell the difference just by holding it. So let me tell you about the only problem I've found with it so far. So normally on a modern DSLR, when you want to change your focus points, you would press this button here, which has this focus point icon, and then you would use the main dial in order to cycle through them. But in the case of this camera, you activate the button and then you use the D-pad on the back, which I found kind of interesting. Now there is an advantage to that, is that it's more precise once you get used to it and you can select which one you want. Like if I press up, it'll automatically choose the top focus point, and so on and so forth. Whereas the dial, you have to kind of cycle through them in a clockwise or a counterclockwise fashion, which to me seems a little faster overall, because this is faster than using these buttons on the back here. This was the champion for a hot second, but unfortunately it has to make way for a superior model. I'm going to be using this as my main camera for all my first impressions on film moving forward, and I'm incredibly happy with it. Thanks again to Robin for donating this to the channel. It's too much. I mean, in the past, I've always just sort of accepted whatever camera I come across at a garage sale and a thrift store. This is the first time that I feel like if this broke, if I dropped it, that I would want to replace it with another of the same model. But without further ado, here are the results of my field test. I am so happy with the way these photos turned out. Like I said, I can't wait to shoot with this again. I plan on doing a couple of first impressions videos on film coming up. That is going to be the camera I'm going to use moving forward. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay classic.